welcome all the dignitaries of IBM and our respective principals, sir, Dr. Debesh Dash, sir. Now I welcome Debesh Dash, Practice Leader at IBM Bhubaneswar, Rakesh Kumar Panna, Senior Project Manager, Location Lead for a leading CPG customer, Jagat Bandhu Sahu, Senior System Engineer, Shrikant Patnaik, Senior Architect, and our principal to the dais. Sir, please. Thank you, sir. We are honored to have you all with us today. Now I request sir to continue sharing insights about INDULGE program 2026 among our students. Sir, please.
Okay, so before we start the session, I just want to say what is all about this particular session and who should actually join to this session, right? And finally, what you are going to take away from this session, right? So the basic objective of this session is not like, we have pre-placement talks or something. It is not like that. Okay. This session is going to give you some clarity about the way of working, in recent IT organizations, and specifically in consulting area, so that you yourself will set your mind, align to that, and be prepared for the next level of job or your first job. Second point, who should join this particular session? Anyone either completing the BTech this year, maybe 8th semester, as well as 7th semester students, they can join, irrespective of the stream. Why you are asking irrespective of the stream? Because the final guidelines, final guardrails is yet to come. Like, whenever we come to campus, who are going to participate to the campus, right? That's why now we are not restricting any to any specific streams. So when I say streams, right? You are part of computer science, IT, CSIT, electronics, telecom, triple E, right? So all those. So we are not restricting it. Anyone can join this session. The basic objective you got, or any specific questions. But anyway, the total session we are splitting into 3 parts. One is the general discussion, initial 15 minutes. Then towards last, we will give 15 minutes for QA sessions. So whatever questions you have, queries you have, you can note it down, or in between you can definitely note it down with you, and we will clarify before closing the sessions. And the main session that probably will be 45 minutes to 1 hour, where we are going to cover some of the important aspects of consulting. So when I say consulting, specifically in our organization, how we are delivering the consulting activities, right? The consulting work. So using different tools, and nowadays we are focusing on AI, right? So this is the whole objective of the session. So before starting, I am Debesh. I think I already visited to your center multiple times. You know, many of your faculties and all we are in touch. My team is here. We are very near to your, esteemed college, right? We are from IBM. So IBM is now the opposite side, the campus. There is one building called iHub within this InfoCity area. We have actually moved from OHub to iHub. So we thought this indulge session we should start with you and in person. In most of the time, it is not possible to visit the centers, visit the college, universities in person, right? And we used to do virtual sessions. So we decided to actually visit you in person because we can interact with you freely and whatever queries you have in your mind, right? You can definitely raise. If it is too technical, which we cannot address, then probably not. We will park it and we will engage our SMEs on that area with you, right? So you are clear now? So we can definitely start the session. And okay, no problem. Okay. So let me start with some offline maybe content, so that later we can move to the exact agenda. So you people are hearing now, right? Most of the things are now being done by AI. I'm sure some of you are already into AI ML stream, right? Within your BTech mainstream, correct? Sir, we have AI ML branch also, right? So maybe they are very much, acquainted with those. But those are not actually, learning AI ML. For them, what they are hearing from your friends, from your senior batchmates, some from your families, right? Family members might be into IT and all. So what you are hearing? Most of the jobs are being taken up by AI. Then one generic question comes to mind, right? If AI is doing everything, then what is our role? In many areas, I have seen debates have been taken up, like AI is, consuming all the jobs. We will be jobless very soon, right? Like that. So we thought, before, you people are coming out from the campus and targeting for some of the IT job, we should debate on that, we should discuss on these points so that you will have a clarity what is next for us. That's why the program name, the session name we have kept Campus to Corporate. So basically you are in a campus now, your mindset, your way of learning, your way of interacting with the students, faculties, right, will be definitely changed whenever you come to a corporate sector. When we say corporate, so basic objective is what? Basic objective is we have to deliver to the client. So the client might be small client, large client, of different industries. As a consultant, we have to deliver the work product to them. Correct? So that objective will be remain. Even if AI has been used heavily, but the objective of delivering the final work product to the client, right? So when I say final output or final work product, it has to be a trusted, reliable, scaled, right, work product to the client. So that will remain with AI. So without changing that objective, you want to without changing that objective, we thought, to give a perspective of way of working, right? Or in other way you say, future of work, right? So for you it is future of work. For us, we have already started that, right? We are already aligned to the way of future work that you say. We are already aligned. So that you need to understand. In last year we visited many campuses here in Bhubaneswar in person. What we got, what the observation we have from the students, right, directly, indirectly, they were asking, and maybe some of you might have had that type of queries also, right, in your mind. When AI is doing everything, why should we learn coding? Why should we learn how to write programs? Why should we learn how to test an application? Why should we learn how to, design the application? Architecting? Why we should learn that? If everything is, done by AI tools. And in market, there are many AI tools, those are in train, right? And you people are probably working on that, right? So keeping in mind those queries, we thought to address you why exactly you need. And many students also challenged us, like why IBM's assessment pattern is not changing. Why IBM is coming to the campus and asking us to write programs during the assessment, during the interview, because it is not required. Why IBM is asking us? So that also we will clarify. Okay, and again, it is not for the IBM organization only. Whatever we discuss today, this definitely will help you whenever you will come to any IT organization. Basically, IT industry is looking for that, right? That's why we thought just to give you that perception. So the agenda works in. So this point specifically I wanted to discuss. So first thing is the new entry level standard, right? Whenever you will come to any IT organization, be it IBM, be it any other organizations, right? Those are actually working in the consulting area. So we say that entry level, standard, right? Or we say graduate hires. When graduate hires comes to the organization, normally we say them, entry level resources. So basically, what is the expectation from them, right? That we need to understand. Now, or I can say before 5 years almost, right? Before 5 years, the developers were focusing on what? Can anyone guess? I think you can guess from these points, right? So they were focusing on the syntax. Correct? If you ask me, if you ask your faculties, if you ask your, senior faculties, they can easily also, give that experience, they can share the experience when they started their career. When I wrote my first program in COBOL, it took minimum 20 to 25 minutes to compile. And by that time, we went for a tea, and when we came back, we found, like someone is having 140 errors, someone is having 250 errors, like that. For me, it was more than 100 errors, I cannot recall. So what was the issue? Syntax. Writing code in proper syntax was the expectation. And that time, we were writing the code in simple notepad type of the tool. Right? You know notepad, right? Simple notepad. The spelling has to be correct. You have to give colon, comma, full stop in proper, manner. And there are no, IDEs, integrated development tools. Simply you have to write the program and you have to say, then you have to compile, then you have to capture what went wrong, again you have to change, recompile. So like that. So that process itself was taking, hours together. Many times it has happened we never concluded or completed one program in 2 hours of lab session. Even if it was a small program. Maybe sorting 10 numbers, or finding one data from an array or something like that, right? So it was taking more than 2 hours just to write the program and, compile it and to see the output. That was the scenario. But now, you should focus on what? Can anyone guess? You should focus on what? An AI tool, when we are talking about AI tool or so-called AI tools you people are using, let's say ChatGPT. Some people are using Microsoft Copilot. Some people are using GitHub Copilot. Some people are using, I don't know, IBM. Can anyone guess which AI tool IBM is using for their delivery? Bob. IBM Bob. Right? So now the expectation is what? Expectation is not to write programs with proper syntax and all those. Right? The tool itself is going to give you 60%, 80%, 75% ready codes. Be it APIs, be it, any complex component. Right? It is going to provide you that level of codes. If you are a tester, for example, you have to write a test case from the scratch. So basically in our industry, what we used to do, we have a template, we have to reuse that template. Then we have to put the test cases there. Now 80%, 90% ready test cases or more than 90% ready test cases are getting generated by AI. Right? So basically your focus is not now to write codes, recall the syntax, spellings and all. You don't have to. Rather you have to focus on what? Synthesis. That is the expectation from the entry level people. So when I say graduate apps. So how you do? If you are not learning that, if you are not doing research or any sort of hands-on during the college, you cannot do. Correct? So the first focus is you have to learn. Whenever you come to delivery, maybe the situation is different. Just because in delivery we are using AI ML tool or any AI integrated tools, I don't have to learn. I don't have to do any sort of research. I don't have to do any sort of hands-on. That cannot be ruled out. So 4 years. You had 4 years, right? Out of 4 years, this is the last year. So just recall what you have done. Maybe in your curriculum it has started with Java, Python, C, C++, whatever. Correct? But you should have learned it properly. If you have not learned, it is the right time. It is the right time. Focus on only one language. Focus on only one language and put your hands heavily. Try all sort of different programmings. Then check all the concepts of programming, features of the programming, and that will help you in near future to deliver the work. Suppose you are ready, coding part is ready, right? You are comfortable. You say that, okay sir, I am ready. Even you went through the assessment for IBM Infosys, whoever coming, right? You went through. Then what is next? Beyond coding, what you need to know? You need to know how to build the applications, how to test the applications, how to integrate the applications, components, how to deploy the applications, what are the automations are there, right? You might have heard about, CI/CD and all those. That you need to focus now. This is very, very important, right? Because right, 80% of work is done within 5 minutes. Then the question is, what is next? So you have to understand this point. Instead of just focusing on the coding, you have to understand the high level picture, right? What is happening when any IT work product is getting delivered, right? The life cycle of the software development life cycle we are talking about. That you have to know. Architecture part I am not focusing, I am not pushing now because I know you people are just starting your career, right? But you should be in a situation to understand the architecture. And believe me, nowadays the architecture diagrams and all those are made so visually impressive. Any IT professional, early IT professionals can easily understand. There was a time when you were not able to represent that properly. But nowadays, if one visually or you can say graphical view of an architecture diagram is presented to you, I think you can easily understand that. Okay? Then, we were talking about 0 to 1 advantage. I think this point already we have discussed, but try to map 0 to 1. What it means? You are not going to start your career from the scratch. You are not going to start your work from the scratch. You are not going to have that type of notepad, only blank notepad where you will think and write. No. 70, 80, 90% type of work will be built by the AI tools and it will come to you. In fact, I don't know if we can show it today or not, but later also we can show. IBM Bob, someone was showing me in our center, the data analytics architect, he was showing me like, okay, within 10 minutes, he was able to develop one data warehouse complete solution with the mock data entries done. Mock data entry is very pathetic, right? You have to, copy, paste and all those, you have to put in an Excel sheet, then formula is that. Somehow you have to make thousands of rows, right? For the mock data. That is also done. Within 10 minutes, the complete data warehouse along with the mock data is ready. So now the question is coming, what is then my role, right? So your role is what? You should understand that data. You should understand the concept. You should understand what has happened. Is it in the right direction or not? So basically review. So you should focus on reviewing those work product in depth. Not just finally a glorified report is coming, oh that is fine, hand over it to the client. Then you are playing. Right? You might have heard in news, right? There are many delivery happened recently, in recent past where the output was hallucination. And finally, there was some blame game, penalties and all those, right? So the so-called IT professionals, consultants, developer, you say anything, that we will later discuss what should be the new role and all. But they should know how to review the work product, whatever they are providing. If I am a developer, then I should know how to review my lines of codes, how to review the test cases, how to review the test outputs and all those. So that's why we say this 0 to 1 advantage. So you are not going to start anything from the 0. Second, when you are talking about AI use, right? How you are using in college and universities? You are definitely using. Heavily generative AI is using your Gemini and Meta and all those, that I know, because you are generating the critical greetings cards and all those, right, in a daily basis, good morning, this, that is one. Second, for your assessment, sir gave you one complex situation. You killed 90% of the time, charting, moving around. Then last 10% you know that I have someone who will give me, something that I can share with my faculty. But you might be doing something wrong there. You might have not reviewed that, but sharing it. And your faculty is getting, out of 50, the outputs are matching, mostly matching, right? The programs are also matching, the lookup tree also matching, everything is matching, 90-95% matching, right? So that means he or she might have already, checked the source from where it is coming. Then any other areas you are using AI heavily in college and universities? No? Some AI/ML students, they were showing us last time, right? They were showing their, work product, the projects. They were telling like, okay, this data packet I got from, some sources. I trained this data packet, all those. So, heavily you are using AI for your, assessment, for your projects, for your, internal discussions, forums, developing a schedule, But one important thing I saw, I just wanted to share before, I move to the next point. That was, I think in your college also similar, type of events have been arranged or already happening now. I am sure. Like, hackathons and all those, right? I saw in one hackathon, 36 hours continuously they were, participating. The students have participated from different states, right? And finally we saw a very presentable work product they came out with. You cannot believe within these 36 hours such a heavy work product using many different technologies they will share with us. I am sure similar type of events are happening in this college also, and you might have participated, not participated, that is the second point. But try to, participate to this type of hackathons and all those. Even you are using AI, that is also acceptable. We want you should use AI tools, to come out with that type of work. Because you will realize, you will feel, you will actually experience with that, right? How you are using. I was asking, to one of the students, I was asking the queries like, have you ever worked on these technologies? He was using actually, blockchain. I asked, have you ever learned blockchain? No, sir. I got this, particular topic when we were here. But, none of us, out of 5 members, none of us has ever worked or learned blockchain. That means within that 36 hours, they learned blockchain, they used the blockchain, and integrated that with their applications. Just believe it. So you can do it. You can do that. So you got the point. So my point is, if you are restricting yourself just on the chat, WhatsApp chat and all those, you should not. You should think beyond that. You should start using AI heavily, right? Then you will realize actually the scope. What exactly you are going to do. At work. At work means, this is our side, right? How we are using AI heavily. Correct? As I mentioned, the tools, the integrated platform that we are actually using, it is a trusted, scalable platform, right? Which is providing us the output, the deliverables. Not 100%, agree, right? In some cases, it is 40% even, in some cases 60%, 80, up to 80% type. We are getting the work products available are coming out from the AI, but we have to take it ahead. We have to review that, or we are reviewing that. We are actually, doing fine tune. We are checking the logic. We are doing the testing. All the rest of the work we are doing. Even testing is also done by the AI tools. But still, before handing over those work products to our clients, it is our responsibility to make sure that it is correct. Right? So prompt engineering, basically it is very, very easy, interesting part. Why I am putting this point here? You people have started using the prompts, right? When you are interacting with your Meta and Gemini and all those tools, heavily day in, day out you are using. So please try to learn that in a structured way, right? Not just, hit and try type. Remove this, image from the right hand of this person, right? Something like that you are doing, right? Add one flower pot to the left side of this photo, right? Something like that you are doing. But my suggestion will be heavily you should start, learning this prompt engineering in a structured way. Take any sources, any good sources, free sources, those are available, right? Learn the prompt engineering properly. Go for any digital badges, certifications, whatever available, right? If it is free, it is fine. If it is, little bit cost associated with that, take a call on that, right? I will not suggest students should go and just pay, right? That I should not suggest. But try to explore those, right? If you can, you go for that. Then, so practical guidance when I am talking about first 90 days. This first 90 days is what? First 90 days is your learning phase in the organization, correct? So whenever any graduate comes to us, any early professional comes to us, be it MCA, sometimes they are coming as an SSP provider, which is a vendor provider resources, right? Or directly to whom we are hiring to our payrolls. Anyone is coming, past 30 days, what we are doing? We are again putting them into the learning. So when I say learning, that learning is not the exact style of learning you are doing now, right? What are the learning you are doing now? The schedule, the pattern, is very, student friendly. But when we are putting them into first 90 days training, that is not student friendly, right? So that's why the basics, the fundamentals you should clear up now. You should learn from now. If you expect that, okay, once I have been hired to any organization or once I am hired, then I will think which particular, stream I will pick, which particular learning I will do, all those. That I can say is over the years. So my request is to all these 7th semester and 8th semester students, to all of you, please use this precious time, with a structured mind. So that during this first 90 days, you will be able to, do a strong potential POCs, proof of concepts, right? You can explore more. You can explore more AI tools. You can explore the processes, methods, tools, whatever the organization is actually using, right? That you can explore more. You have to understand the enterprise AI policy also, right? Before using any AI tool. Now it is free, right? For you. The sources that you are using, no one is questioning. But can you go with the same pattern when you have to deliver the work product to the client? You cannot. The next day your company will be probably, come to a problem, right? Because your employee has shared this, your employee has provided this particular output, it is, it is a non-compliance. So please make sure that you are putting more time into that. Adopt a review first mindset. So mindset shift is very, very important for this, particular last year students, 7th semester and 8th semester. The mindset shift. You are moving from a campus to corporate life. So when you are moving from campus to corporate life, first of all, I will suggest don't go and sit in one place. I have seen in my center, those are coming from college X, 5 students, they are sitting next to next. Right? The same attitude, right? That should be changed. Why next to next? They should not just sit, they should not consider, right? It is a classroom or something like that. You have to develop your networks. You have to connect with different roles, right? So when I say different roles, of course, your colleagues, but with different roles. Managers, architects, business analysts, developers. Of course, these developers, business analysts, we are not going to use those terms going forward. Correct? We will discuss on those areas also. Right? What are the new roles that we are following, or we are adapting with, or we are aligned with, right? So you have to connect with them, you have to understand their way of working, and you have to be a professional quickly as soon as possible, right? So that is very important. Then stay adaptive, not defensive. What it means? Like I learned Java in my college. I selected Java language during the interview. Then why XYZ organization is asking me to work in another language, tools and all those? I will not do. That type of resistance I have seen. Resources are having a mindset, right? I learned this, I am very good on this, that's why I will not do any other things. So unlearning and learning is very, very important now. You don't know in which particular area you are going to work. So adaptiveness is very, very important. Number one. Number two, now you are staying in hostel, you are coming to your class, right? And it is easy life. But in corporate delivery, it is not that easy life. I have seen resources starting their day 10 a.m. morning, but actually they are starting their delivery by evening 6 p.m. and completing late. Sometimes 11 p.m. or beyond that. That is also another point. So you have to manage that. You have to be adaptive with that situation. Many times it happens like, in a very, with a very quick notice you have to deliver. Then you should not come and say, why you have not given time? Why you are expecting me to deliver this within this 3 hours, 4 hours? I cannot do that. No one has told me during this interview. I have told my constraints during the interviews and all those. Interview is interview, right? Nowhere, all those data points have been, tracked throughout the life in the organization. That never takes on that way. So adaptiveness is very, very important. That's why I'm telling, shifting the mindset from the campus to corporate is very, very important. So as soon as possible, you should be adaptive with that. You should start learning that. You should start following that. Correct? Then, core IT roles. So now we are talking about developers, right? Software developers, testers, data engineers, right? And data analytics, cloud and DevOps engineers, all those are typical, right? So what they are doing now? They are also using AI as a co-pilot. That's why Microsoft gave that name, right? Microsoft Copilot. So when I say co-pilot, how it works? If I have to develop an application, right? Earlier what I was doing, I was looking for the program specification, the coding standard, the development framework, all lot of things I was looking for, right? Then only I was starting my writing, code writing, right? Now it is not like that. The co-pilot will do, it will work along with you, right? So 60%, 50%, 70% support you will get from co-pilot, and the rest of the things you have to do. That's why these roles, right? These roles are what? These roles, software developer, QA, or data engineers, whatever. In each and every role, this particular co-filer part has been added. Now the question is, should we still call them software developer? Should we still, call them as a tester? Should we still call them as a data analyst? So it is a big question, right? So you should not be worried on that. If industry gives you some new name, you should be adaptive with that. You will hear new names: forward deployment engineer, forward deployment architects, AI engineers, right? So you will hear all those new roles. Point is, you have to be adaptive with all those. Human in the loop. Some people used to debate, is AI is going to replace the whole job? Then what is our role? Our role always will be there, right? If these IT professionals will not be there, do you think that the rest of the things, 100%, that AI tools will go and deliver? Maybe it will take some more time. The processing, the validations, lot many things, right? It has to be that level of automation, right? Then only you can deliver. Someone will just come and stand in front of a mic and say that, okay, I need an application to manage this, and I am into this particular business. That's all. And the rest of the things are ready within 10 minutes. So it will take some time, right? And up to what level it will be ready, that time should say. So my suggestion is, to all of you, this is a precious time. Please don't, underutilize that. Just, putting or killing the times on WhatsApp chat, generating only, greetings cards and all those. Or, only, talking outside. Don't do that. This is the high time you need to be prepared for your job. This is the high time you need to be ready for the interviews. And for you, please note, the interview patterns and all those, it might be changed little bit, but please note, each and every organization will be interested to check your potential. How they will check your potential? Right? They will check your English, they will check your reasoning, they will check your codings. Then at the end, what they are going to check? They are going to check what is your growth mindset. That might be face-to-face interview. During face-to-face interview, they will check what the growth mindset. So when I say growth mindset, how you will basically go and convey that? Many times I have seen resource used to convey directly. Okay sir, you give me this particular job, I will deliver. That is not the growth mindset. Just if you say why someone will trust you, so what evidences you are going to say? Show them that you have a growth mindset. Your structured learning evidence. Right? What are the learnings you have done? It is a structured learning or only watching YouTube during the sleep or night time? That is not structured learning. Structured learning is commit for a learning, do the learning step by step. At the end, face the assessment, grab the certifications. Right? Be it a digital badge, be it a digital, certifications, hyperscale certifications, whatever. That you need to line up. If that you are showing during the interviews, then definitely the panel will, be convinced, or the panel will be convinced that yes, this particular resource is following the growth mindset path. That means in future he can do. That is what you need to do. Okay? So I think most of the points we have discussed. So I will request Rakesh, you can come to the next couple of points you can share, then maybe second you have to show some of the important tools that IBM is using.
Rather than just listening to me. Okay. So how many of you are interested for the job, in the sense in IT industry? Can you raise your hand? Rather, let me put it in this way. I could see there are a lot of hands that have not been raised. So let me ask it in a different way. How many of you are not interested? Those who didn't raise the hand for the first time, you can raise your hand. So there's no offense. If you are not interested for the job, that's all fine. You might have something thought better than what to do in your future. So everything is welcome. But those who are interested really for the job, soon you are going to face the campus interview and all. And this session is to enable you what is the expectation from our industry, especially as IBM is concerned. So what are we expecting? And most of the industries, with my experience, I can tell, everybody expects the same thing. Almost. And this is the era of AI. No more old coding and all is in place now in your actual workplace. But however, the mode of interviewing, so I'm here to give you the more regarding the, because Debesh has already covered a lot of things on what is the industry expectations in terms of your learnings, how will you cope up with your future assignments and all. I will give you an insight of how you better prepare for your interviews. So if you ask me, there are different segments as Debesh was already informed regarding this, and the coding test, why we need that to be done, even though it is not in workplace. That's what rightly explained by Debesh. I'll give you few points why we don't, even though there is no actual coding we do, in the sense the tool is doing, AI is doing, but why still we test it for the campus area? Because to understand what AI is doing, you should have that knowledge at least. Right? So that's bad necessarily. You have to learn your academic, you have still 5-6 months of time. Group within yourself, try to communicate, you have to work on your communication, because whatever you know, if it doesn't come out of you, you will not be able to understand, right? When we are facing the interview. If you do not speak, how will you understand that you have got knowledge in that particular technology? Yeah, sure. So there's a video, nice video, please watch it. That will definitely give you a lot of insights of IBM.
Imagine a world where machines and humans work side by side, where automation takes care of the routine, and human creativity drives innovation. This isn't a sci-fi dream, it's the reality we're stepping into. Welcome to the future of work, where AI and automation are redefining how we work, and the skill we need. They're transforming business, team management, and even which skills are most valuable. So sit back and join us as we explore this fascinating shift. Over the past decade, AI and automation have gone from experimental to essential. From self-checkouts to chatbots, AI is integrated into many daily operations. The World Economic Forum reports that 42% of business tasks will be automated by 2027. This is huge. Machines handling everything from assembling products to helping doctors with diagnostics. But it's not just about replacing jobs, it's about unlocking new opportunities. AI allows us to focus on what humans do best: creativity, empathy, and strategic thinking. With AI taking over repetitive tasks, human roles are evolving. We're moving towards jobs emphasizing creativity, problem solving, and emotional intelligence. Skills like empathy and leadership are more valuable than ever. For example, while AI might crunch numbers faster, it can't negotiate complex deals, inspire teams, or design soul-stirring campaigns. This is where our unique human skills come into play. In this new landscape, hybrid roles that blend technical know-how and human insight are emerging. Think data scientists who understand not just numbers, but also the context behind them and can communicate insights clearly. So what skills do you need in this AI-driven world? Digital literacy, data analysis, critical thinking and emotional intelligence top the list. And of course, continuous learning is essential. With AI evolving fast, staying ahead means always being ready to adapt. Interestingly, AI is also helping us learn better. AI-driven platforms can personalize learning experiences, acting like a 24/7 tutor guiding us through career advancements. So how do we balance AI with the human touch? AI should be our partner, not a replacement. While AI handles data entry, humans can focus on creativity, relationships, and strategic decisions. AI chatbots, like Potential's iChatbot, are great examples. They handle routine tasks and provide 24/7 support, allowing employees to focus on more complex challenges. The future of work is all about collaborative intelligence. Humans and AI working together to achieve more. AI does the heavy lifting, while humans bring creativity and strategy to the table. That's where we're headed. The future isn't about choosing between humans or machines. It's about leveraging the best of both. Are you ready for the future of work? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more. Imagine a world where machines and humans
So from this video, what are the new things you know? You can know. Any points you might have missed during our discussion also, right? You are not going to work as an individual contributor, right? I know writing Java code, that's why I will sit somewhere at my home or in my desk or whatever, right? And I will just write the code, nothing else. This type of work culture, this type of work style is not going to work going forward. So it is mandatory for all of us, be it an architect, the project managers, developers, testers, you think about any sort of roles. Along with you, AI has to go. Right? That is why we are emphasizing you people have to understand that concept, you people have to be aligned with that. So we are going to discuss about the consulting. When I am talking about the consulting, of course, we are focused more on our IBM's consulting part. Right? So in a consulting business, in IBM there are different businesses. IBM Software Lab, Research Lab, right? Consulting. In India we have not, I think once we have used IBM, finance when Airtel came around 2006, right? IBM also became a partner, investing with them, right? So that part is different. So we have different business units. So one of the major business unit is IBM Consulting. So some of the data points for your just understanding. I'm not actually pushing like you have to just keep it in mind because data is always available everywhere, right? You can go and search, right? So our focus in the consulting, what is our focus? That you need to understand. So these 6 areas you see, business transformation, technology and cloud, AI automation, cyber security, data analytics and sustainability. These are the major focus now in the IBM consulting business. You don't know, right? When you people will be hired into the consulting organization, you will be part of which particular tower, you don't know. Even for us also, if we are now working in a particular area, let's say cloud technology, we don't know our next project probably will be in AI and automation. If I am currently working in AI and automation, I don't know what will be my next, delivery. So, as I mentioned, unlearn and relearn. That has to be faster. So your mindset has to be aligned with that. Okay? Shall we play?
Consulting has always been a skills-intensive business focused on developing the whole professional. People with strong interpersonal and client engagement abilities, a solid consulting approach, disciplined delivery, leadership and people management capabilities, industry and business acumen, and deep technical expertise. In short, consultants need an integrated, broad-based skill system, not a narrow toolkit. This has traditionally been depicted as a T-shaped model. One deep area of expertise supported by a broad range of complementary skills. But as the half-life of specialized knowledge shortens, focus has shifted to a more pie-shaped model, developing two or more areas of technical depth anchored by a strong horizontal base of transferable knowledge, skills, and capabilities. AI, especially agentic AI, is now part of that foundation, and for some specialists, a vertical pillar as well. This shift reflects consulting reality. Serving clients effectively requires broad people skills, delivery rigor, and business acumen, combined with multiple evolving areas of technical and domain expertise. Consulting has long encouraged skilling, especially among junior practitioners. But the accelerating pace of change has broadened and intensified these expectations, and IBM Consulting is no exception. Beginning in 2026, all consulting employees at Band 10 and below with at least 1 year at IBM will be required to pursue pre-skilling as part of their core performance expectations. Skilling assignments will align with consulting's projected skill needs across our main labor pools, mainline domestic CIC and GIC, and across locations with local leaders determining where demand is expected to grow, remain steady, or decline. Beginning in 2026, practitioners in areas slated for growth will be expected to meet current training requirements and then upskill within their specialism, progressing from foundation to experienced to expert, or expert to thought leader, with clear progress expected by year end. Those in stable demand areas will meet existing requirements and then either advance within their current specialization or develop a second one, moving toward a more pie-shaped skills profile. Those in declining demand areas will complete a reskilling learning path in a higher demand specialization and begin shifting their formal focus by year end. In all cases, the goal is to maximize. Consulting has always been a skills-intensive business focused on developing the whole professional. People with strong interpersonal and client engagement abilities, a solid consulting approach, disciplined delivery, leadership, and people management capabilities, industry and business acumen, and deep technical expertise. In short, consultants need an integrated, broad-based skill system, not a narrow toolkit. This has traditionally been depicted as a T-shaped model. One deep area of expertise supported by a broad range of complementary skills. But as the half-life of specialized knowledge shortens, focus has shifted to a more pie-shaped model, developing two or more areas of technical depth anchored by a strong horizontal base of transferable knowledge, skills, and capabilities. AI, especially agentic AI.
So, important points. So you understood the shifting of knowledge from the T-set pattern to pi-set pattern. We all want, each and every consultant or professionals within IBM or in industry in general, I'm not talking about only IBM, in other organizations also similar expectation. You should have one primary skill, another secondary skill. That's why we are talking about pi-set. Right? The moment you are very, strong in one skill, you have to think about the future skill requirement. Right? When we are talking about future skill requirement, we have to understand what is pre-skilling, what is reskilling, cross-skilling, upskilling. Right? All those we need to understand properly. For us, you are now doing the pre-skilling. The moment you will come inside, that means you are coming with some skill. That is the pre-skilling. But for us, what is pre-skilling? Already we are working in one particular area, in one particular vertical, technologies, whatever, or any functional area, we have to think about the next. Right? We have to be pre-skilled ourselves. That is one. Second, reskilling. Completely switching from one skill to another skill. This is not easy job. Specifically for the professionals, I have seen when they have huge delivery to be delivered on time within the tight schedule. Still, they have to put enough extra efforts to reskill themselves into a new technology, new functional area, and finally or in new domain, industry domain, to deliver the next project. Right? So that is not easy job. So please understand the need, right? The skill need of any of the consulting firm or any other IT organizations. Those are delivering a mixed mode of delivery pattern. They are doing research, they are doing development, they are doing consulting. They will definitely be interested the new age professionals should be adaptive with that. Okay? So the trend already, I think most of the things we have discussed. Please just have a look, right? How the trend got changed, and we are now and beyond, right? 2026 and beyond, right? And the expectation already in the previous video, it was clearly mentioned, right? How you need to be ready. So that is most important thing, right? Agentic AI, generative AI is now on focus, correct? So you see, ERP, then you get to SaaS, then multi-cloud, right? Then Gen AI, and finally we are into agentic AI. So when we are talking about agentic AI, correct? How that orchestration will be done, how most of the agents can interact with each other to get some, or to get the required output or to achieve the goal, right? That you need to quickly learn, right? That you need to quickly learn. I'm not telling like you will be expert or we will consider you as an expert. At least the fundamentals, the base, you need to have that clarity. That is very, very important. Okay? So, this probably will not be much helpful for you, like how our organization is having the metrics model within the consulting, but just have a look. Most of the technologies we are covering, so you should think on that perspective. Like if I am getting ready in one technology, not necessarily that same technology I will get if I am getting into the organization and coming to a project, right? It can be any. And based on those technology and all, we have a matrix model, delivery model in place, or the practice model in place which we follow. So it is easy stuff to follow it. Then come to this part, the new job role. The new job role, we are talking about forward deployed architect, forward deployed engineer, applied AI specialist, and data designer. One mapping table is there on the other side is seen. If someone is a developer, right, that developer can easily be aligned to forward deployment engineer. If the developer is using the AI tools, the AI platform to deliver their work, right? So so-called application developer or software developer, right, role probably will not see in future, right, for you. But already we have started, implementing it. All our software developers, architects, and all those are, moving to these new roles. They have already started their journey. Okay. Second will cover what's next. Yes. So quickly we'll cover what's next. If you are having time, please, use any source to learn what exactly what's next is doing in IBM, and going forward how some of you might get a chance to use it.
Yeah, I quickly go through some of the IBM offerings. We'll start with Version X. I think most of you might have already know or might have heard about it, right? So Version X is an enterprise AI platform, and you can see there are three classifications, right? One is AI, one is data, and the governance. Okay? So AI is basically to do the validation, tuning, and deploying the models. Okay? And data is structured, unstructured data. So this data is actually working as a knowledge base, and the AI prompts, right, they search this data before they provide a response. The next part is governance. Governance is actually the to handle the AI risk. Okay. What is the AI risk? AI risk is actually ambiguous. Data is ambiguous, right? There is some hallucination. Something is wrong, that is being interpreted wrongly by the AI system. In order to avoid those things, that is the governance part. Okay? So where do organizations use it actually? Like AI chatbots, assistants, right? There are certain use cases like summarizing the documents, generating code, right? Searching the knowledge base, creating AI agents. So these are some of the uses. I will not go into much detail. You can come to the QA session where you can have your questions. Okay?
Yeah, just to add, second, if you want to compare this Watson X, right, just for a quick, understanding, whatever free software platforms, your AI platforms you are using now from the market, you can also compare with that. Basically, when an organization is going to deliver the work product to the client using any AI platform, that AI platform has to make sure that it is trusted. Correct? Number one is it is trusted platform. Number two, data privacy is being maintained. Right? Because the moment we are going to the client, first question, if ChatGPT is there, if other resources are there, why should we use Watson X? So Watson X is an equivalent platform, right? IBM has designed and developed on top of Watson supercomputer, right? So our AI products are traceable. That means any work product we are generating or delivering from Watson X is traceable, number one. So that's why the trust with the client can be maintained, number one. So where governance is coming to the picture, right? So traceability, the policy has been followed, the local policy, global policy, data security access, all those, data access policy from cross-border data access policy, everything is being actually followed, right? That's why we could able to maintain the or build and maintain the trust, right? That is very, very important. It is not just AI. AI is one area, data, and on top of governance. That's why we are emphasizing what's the next of AI, what's the next of data, what's the next of governance. Correct? So this is very, very, important. You please use any of the AI tool, plus make sure that the data privacy is maintained. Right? Number one. Number two, governance is there, traceability is there. If someone will ask you how you concluded this result, show me the steps. What are the models you have used? What are the output came from the model, each model? That you should be able to justify, show them. Right? That's why all these things. Yes, again.
This is another offering, IBM Consulting Advantage. So what it contains actually, this is a AI-powered delivery platform. So you can use different models here. You can go for IBM models, you can go for chat, and there are a lot of even the Google models you can use here, right? And so what all things it has agents, assistants, applications, right? As an example, I give you, you can directly give a prompt, right, in the chat box. You can directly give a message, just summarize this document, right? So you can see the response from the various models, be it Google model, be it IBM model, right? So it has assistants, it has some specific agents. When I say agent means it is working towards a particular goal, okay? And it contains applications also. So applications are like a combination of agents, or you can say, and as an example, any HR related application which has multiple agents, all of them makes an application, right? So what all things it does, this is very important. You can see the productivity, right, that increases up to 50% when it is with the team, right? And team effort for testing tasks, it reduces to 30%, and 90% consulting practices, right? They are using this AI assistants and agents. So these are certain areas where we are using it, like chatting with models. As I told you, right? We generally go to a meeting. It's of 3 hours, right? Let's say I miss the meeting, or I want to know the transcripts or the summary of the meeting. So I can just go where's the transcripts, and I get some few points on what the meeting is, right? So these are all being daily used. I am giving simple examples, but we can do a lot of complex things with using all this.
Yeah. So just to add, we are very much dependent on this particular platform in IBM. ICA, we say. That means each and every IBM, be the project manager, architect, developer, testers, even our admin facility, each and every IBMer can or they should use this particular platform, ICA, Consulting Advantage. It is an assistant, right? Sometimes you might feel if assistant is ready with everything, then what is my role? No, you can create your own assistant. You can customize the assistant, right? You can use the base model. You can use the derivative models, or any models those are available in market and accessible to our ICA. You can use those models, create your own, models, applications, agents, everything you can create through this platform, right? You can actually integrate the different agents also. You can orchestrate, basically you can orchestrate and create an application. So this is the real, AI platform in use for us in IBM. That's why we thought just to give you, a little idea about that, so that you can imagine, like anywhere, any organization, right? Are they really ready with this type of platform or not? Right? If not, then what exactly you are doing? I have seen resources working for small companies here, right? It is not actually, the differential rate is not small or big, right? How they are ready with. Are they ready with all these infrastructures, processes, methods, tools that we need to basically understand. So your own skill is one part and the supporting materials are another, added components. So then as a whole you can play the role of you can say a developer. No, now you cannot say developer from now onwards. Forward deployment engineers, forward deployment architects and all those, right? So you can consider yourself as playing that particular role. So that's why we thought just to show you this particular page. Yep.
Okay. Now, I'm not sure how many you have IBM. IBM is an agentic ID. This is ID. You understand ID, right? Like an Eclipse, right? Where we develop our app. Okay. So this is the ID for the BOB. We have this in the screen. Right? Here you can chat with BOB. Okay. What it does, it supports all the phases of your SPLC. Okay. Starting from requirement till test phase generation, it supports all the phases. Okay. It has some pre-built tools and integration with MCP server. In MCP server, I will just quickly touch on this is model context protocol. Okay. Let's say I want to connect to any external repository, right? Let's say to a Jira tool, right? Or maybe some, let's say service now. I can create an MCP server, I can connect to it. You can think of as an external interface. So this is the latest product which is right now being used by the developers, right? What all use cases it can do? You can see application modernization. Let's say I have a very old legacy application with Java 7, right? I want to move it to Java 18 or 17 or the latest version of Java. So what I can do, I can just import the project, just give in the chat prompt that you convert this application to the latest version of Java. Bob will generate it, okay, based on a volume actually. I am not saying about time. It will generate all your code, right, along with the test cases. If it is a small application, I will say within 5 minutes. Okay. But that doesn't mean it replaces the whole human intervention is not required. Bob will generate, you need to do it. Okay. So these are certain use cases. I am not going deep into it, like integration APIs, right? Analytics, data pipelines, okay? The testing part for engineering, mobile UI development. Lot of things you can do, and even you can have your own ideas of, and you can generate the code.
Yeah. So, Tim, what I'm suggesting, maybe by evening you can check, okay, what is IBM Bob, whatever the level of free access you have, you should take that access, number one. You might not get the access there and there, but you should apply for the IBM Bob access. Number two, try to generate some idea what exactly IBM Bob is doing, right? IBM Bob is nothing but one integrated tool developed on top of ICA that previously you saw, right? Consulting advantage, ICA. On top of ICA, IBM Bob is being developed. Whatever the type of application you want to develop, you can try, right? So, because sometimes I was telling, complete data warehousing project within 10 minutes along with mock data entry was ready with the help of IBM Bob, right? So, like that, if you want to develop an application, I'm not actually giving you a clue which will they will use for the projects. But you can do that. If you want to create applications and you want to present it to your faculty, you do. But on top of that, please understand, you have to review the codes, right? You have to understand it and you have to explain it, right? That is important. Otherwise, fantastic applications, B2B, B2C, any type of applications you want to use using any programming language, you can do through Bob. Bob has that capability, right? So that's why for us, Bob is a co-pilot. In Microsoft, their product is Microsoft Copilot. For IBM, Bob is a co-pilot. So please try to learn it. Definitely it will help you, right? And it might happen in some other organization also, they will take the access of Bob license and they will use for their own delivery, correct? So please try to check that.
Okay. Now I'll quickly go through this one. This is a new way of working. Okay. The new way of working is you see all the stages of STLC, right? Starting from requirement till functional test. Okay. And you can see here IBM Consulting Advantage. Okay. What we are doing in IBM Consulting Advantage, we are giving a context. Okay. Context means the specification, okay, the requirements. Okay. We are giving the context and then we are creating a connection to Bob using the MCP server, right, to the context, okay, and then all these things are being generated by Bob, okay, along with starting from code generation till documentation. You can see the rules here. The forward deployed architect, mostly the context, right? Then engineers, right? Application engineers and database engineers. So, your questions later, I can ask Jabarundo to go through some use cases.
Good afternoon all. I think it's already launch time, so that's why a lot of noise at the back end. So we'll not spend much time from you. We'll take hardly 5 to 10 minutes. Just to showcase so as Debesh and Rakesh and Srikanth explained, the features and how AI works. So I will just give some insights on in the real time in the project development activities, how we are utilizing AI. Okay. So the IBM Bob. My background is I joined as IBM as a mainframe developer. Okay. So I can understand that type of coding era. So the COBOL was the programming language in the mainframe. We had 4 divisions. I think that was like identification, procedure, environment, data. So we have to write the code in a stepwise manner.
So, I know, so for long hour sessions, you feel bored, you are chatting, that's all fine, but do remember, today's session will definitely help you when you sit for the interview. There are a lot of insights which we are giving today. I do not want to say about it, but this will definitely help you on your interviews. And by then only you will understand why you missed this session. So be attentive, otherwise you will be losing.
Okay. So if you see here, so with the help of Bob, we can see. So I just give small one line of what is Salesforce. I think most of the people will be not aware of what is Salesforce. Salesforce is a CRM application which is developed by Salesforce. In most of the industries are now using this Salesforce, like healthcare and retail, banking. All these industries are using Salesforce. So the core capability, the first one you can see the Apex development. Okay. So using Salesforce, Apex is a script which is used by Salesforce to develop the code. As like we have C, C++, Java, .NET. So it's a programmatical script which is being used in the Salesforce. Okay. So with the help of Bob, we can, instead of writing the code from scratch, we can use the Bob to generate the, means once we give the business scenario, Bob will generate the code for us. Okay. Next, the lightning wave component. So these are the features that are not going because this is not a Salesforce sessions. I don't want to cover each and every topics. I just give two scenarios in a real-time project what we have used. I think most of the people are using mobiles, right? We have Android, we have iOS, right? So sometimes you can see we are getting one update, kind of like software update. Can someone tell what we are doing after getting those kind of notification? Are we ignoring those notifications? No, right? We are going and making our mobile up to date with the compliance, right? So in Salesforce also we have such version update what Salesforce is sending, we is implementing so that our code will be more performance wise is good and more security. Okay. So we have one case like in our application on which the project I am working, we have more than 250 Apex modules. Okay. And Salesforce does in every quarter they used to release the update. As like Android and iOS they are releasing the update. Similarly, Salesforce does that. So all the times, if you analyze the code, go to the features, make compatibility with that version, that will take more time, right? If I take 8 hours to do the analysis for one module, in my application I have 250 modules. So just think of the time consumed it will take if we go and make our code by ourselves. But we have utilized our Bob to make it the 250 modules compatible within one day. Okay, so that is the power of Bob. Second, but as Debesh was telling, like if Bob can do everything, then what is the use of us? Definitely this question will come to your mind. Okay, I will tell you one scenario. Bob will generate, but what will generate? What input you have to give? What format of output you would need? That instruction should be given by us. Bob can't do by itself. We have to give the prompt. Then how the prompt will come to us, those kind of instructions that need to be configured by the programmer. Okay? So Bob will not, means the AI will not replace the job of us. That is the key partner which will give boost in our productivity. Okay? Instead of spending 8 hours for one module, within one day we can do the analysis of 250 more modules. Okay? That is one use cases. The second use cases I will tell. So we have created one chatbot. I think most of the people are familiar with IRCTC, OSRTC. If you open the site, Amazon and all, if you open the site, you can see small image, the right top, it will be Kia or Ria, whatever the sort. They should be very uniform name so that everyone, this is very attractive name they put. So that is kind of like chat assistant, right? What it does, what we have done, so generally most of the people have 2-wheeler, 4-wheeler, they are driving, right? And you are doing the periodical maintenance. Okay? Suppose I have 2 bikes or 3 bikes. So in just imagine if I have more than 100 bikes. So do I need to go and check every day where my service will come, where my maintenance will come, all these things? So similarly, I am working in a aircraft client. Okay. So generally in aircraft, how they used to manage this, they used to track as we are tracking as a kilometers in our bike, they used to track it as a miles. Okay. And as per the DGCA regulation, they used to auto track. Suppose one aircraft is flying more than 100 miles, it should go for the maintenance. Because any of issue on the aircraft, it may cause loss of livings, right? So that's the reason we have created one small chartboard to keep track of all the aircraft. Suppose the director or business people, they want to see where is my aircraft of this XYZ models. That will give from where it's flying, how many passengers it's carrying, how many crews it's carrying, and how many miles it already crossed. So that they will be getting the notification automatically from the chart agent by saying this aircraft is already crossed its limited miles, it should go for the maintenance. Okay? So these are the real-time scenarios that just utilizing the AI. So I don't take much time. Thank you, team. I'll pass the mic to Debesh.
Yeah, thank you. So team, first of all, try accessing BOM, number one. Number two, try to understand what is MCP, right? That Srikanth has mentioned, Model Context Protocol, right? Because going forward, you probably don't need to develop small applications, or it is already available in your organization, in your university, in your with your client, right? You have to integrate those, right? MCP is helping, right? So try to understand that, right? Because finally, we are not going to be considered as a software developer, coder type of role going forward. We will be considered as forward deployment engineer, right? Forward deployment architect. So on those basis. So basically, you have to understand overall picture of the organization, enterprise, and all those, and you should understand what is the architecture of the application and total enterprise, and how any AI tool, not necessarily only Bob, right? It is not a Bob session actually, but just because Bob is our product, we have given that example. So you should always compare with other parallel products, right? On top of everything, your mindset change is very important, right? Try to learn quickly, unlearn quickly also, right? That also you should not forget. So be ready for the interviews and all. Don't be confused. Stick to your own, curriculum. Focus on one particular programming and all, where you can select that and write codes. At least complex programs and all, you please practice. Along with that, there are soft skills and all those. I am sure university and college they are taking care. Please follow that. I think that will be enough for you to get into a good job. Thank you. Thank you for the basic.
If you have any questions, you can ask now. We are open for the questions.
2-3 minutes. Yeah.
Anything you can ask, no problem. Someone passes the mic.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Shilpa Sahu. I have this question that when IBM interviews like fresh resources or fresh candidates, what is that one thing that stands out apart from academics or growth mindset, as said by sir? What is that one thing that stands out in a candidate in the interview?
I think most of the things we have discussed. So, along with your technical skill, right, that your curriculum covers, we always respect that, number one. On top of that, as I mentioned, growth mindset is very, very important to showcase, right? That will give a complete profile about you. Correct? That means you started your career here, day 1 or semester 1, let's say. From semester to semester, you have learned, you have scored, that probably will show us, right? CGPA and all this. Along with that, what extra you have learned, right? Have you really participated into different hackathons? Have you really learned some structured courses on top of your college curriculum? Have you grabbed some of the digital badges, certifications, right? Those will really show how you have planned yourself to grow, right? Because the same pattern will be followed going forward. Your learning is not going to stop, right? Please understand, the day you are coming into an organization, if you assume that my learning is over, that is wrong, right? So this particular attitude will help you to grow further, and that is what the organization wants.
So one more point I want to add. So apart from these two you were asking, so the first slide you were showing, Debesh was showing on the adaptability. So how adaptive are you in learning the new things? So if you ask all of us, we were trained in something else, working in something else, and targeting to work in something else as well. So that's how you have to be in a mindset that I do not want to stick into Java because industry is changing, right? Based on that, your learning will also change, and you should be able to adapt that. That adaptability and flexibility you should have, and that's what while interviewing we also look for, and sustainability in the industry. Obviously, we will spend some time, money, and effort, everything with you, one of the resources, and the very next moment the resource says that I do not want to continue the organization. So that also we look for, right? The flexibility, sustainability, and adaptability. These are the three things also very much important. Hope answered? Thank you.
Anyone? Any other queries, please?
Any other question from anyone?
We have 2 minutes.
Okay, if not, there's one point I want to highlight. So while in your campus hiring and all, we know that you are from academic, we do not know anything else, anything which is going to you are going to face in the industry and all, right? Obviously, we will look for what exactly you have done in your projects and all. So copying it from ChatGPT, presenting it to the faculty and all is fine. But while in the interview, this is a personal experience I am sharing with you. 50% of the people do not know what they have done in that particular project or what was their role in that particular project. So be serious what project you are working with. That's what will be your targeted question in all your interviews, whichever company is going to come. So that's what teams say. Thank you.